Welcome to Yin in the Garden with me, Monique, and Poppy and Charlotte. Um, we've got bolsters and things, but feel free to use a rolled up towel, a blanket, a pillow, anything you like. So take this moment, pause the video, and go off and find anything that you can sink into, you can rest with, something that's going to support you. Wonderful. I don't know about you, but right now I am struggling to find some quiet. My mind's racing a million miles an hour, trying to comprehend this new life that we are living right now. Feelings of vulnerability, loneliness, loss, but most of anything, helplessness. It's like the movie set of a disaster film that just seems to go on and on. So we're definitely all in this together, and more than anything we all want to help in our own little way. So here we are doing our yin sequence that should help still those whirlpools of the mind and leave you feeling just a little bit more centered. So what I would like you to do is to lay down on your mats, but with your knees bent and your feet firmly planted on the ground. Wonderful. Just arms loosely by your side, palms facing up. This is a conscious rest position. You could put a blanket under your head if you like. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart. Wonderful. And if you like, you can let your knees fall together if that feels comfortable. You can also cover your eyes with something if, like us, you're out in the garden and the glorious sunshine. Just a few minutes. Start to feel the earth beneath us. Become aware of our breath, our life force ebbing and flowing as we inhale and we exhale. For those of you unfamiliar with the art of yin, it's a much slower practice with poses held for time, but always supported for maximum benefits. Our aim is to relax into the pose, helping our muscles switch off so we can reach the in-between points, the fascia that holds everything together. This will give you extra movement in your dynamic classes. The hardest part is sitting in stillness and silence. But I believe that that is where the true benefit of yoga lies. Let us slowly and mindfully bring ourselves to a seated position with our legs in the shape of a diamond, like so. Just lean forward and just open your feet like a book. You can move your feet towards your groin or away from your groin until you feel a point of tension. Wonderful. I want you to take your arms up in the air and, hinging from your waist, just start to relax over your feet. Once your hands reach the floor, just let your head hang loose and relax. Inhale and exhale. Notice if the tension is ebbing away. Relax your entire body. You'll notice your breath automatically becomes longer as you inhale, then you exhale, feeling the ground beneath you, feeling your hips gently open, as you let go. Wonderful. 2 more long breaths. Now our second inhale. Slowly walk our hands back and up to seated. Now you're going to need your bolster or pillow, so just grab that and move it to your left side. So from your diamond position, you leave your left leg where it is, lean into that hip and just take your right leg behind you. So your legs are in a little bit of an S shape. This is called our deer. And then what I want you to do is you put your bolster or pillow or whatever you have to hand by your left thigh. You take your left arm outstretched and you sink into it and just relax. Turn the palm of your right hand to face up and bring it all the way overhead. Now if this stretch feels too much right now, just leave your hand by your side or in front of you. You should feel the right side of your body entirely opening up. You're making space between your ribs. And your breathing should become a little deeper as you've made all that space for your lungs to expand. And as we settle into stillness, we've probably noticed that our mind is fighting us. Random thoughts are popping into our head. Oh, I must do this, I must do that. Well, actually right now, no, you mustn't. This is your gift to yourself, your own time. You need not be anywhere else. Acknowledge your thoughts and send them on their way. There's nothing else but the ground beneath you and the sky above you. You're supported, you're nourished, and you're spending time to still your mind so that when you go back into the world, you're in a better place to deal with it. more breaths in this beautiful opening position. Bring your right arm up and over and place it in front of you. And just very, very gently leaning forward, lift up your body with your head coming up last. And take your feet back into your diamond pose. Maybe bring your bolster, place it in your lap, and just sink one more time. Surrendering. Feel the weight into each of your sit bones equally. You'll probably find that your hip this time is slightly looser on one side than the other. So we'll take deer onto the other side. So this time leaving your right leg where it is and taking your left behind you in that lovely S shape. And then placing your pillow in front of your right thigh. And we're facing forwards, take ourselves down. Settling into a comfortable position. And then taking our left arm up and over. And relaxing into our pose. Now I know my leg isn't quite in the right place because I've got a little pinching here, so I'm going to reposition myself slightly. That's better. And up and over. Gently close your eyes and then just watch the rise and fall of your tummy, your rib cage, as you once more surrender to the ground, settling into stillness. Maybe in your mind's eye, picture that beautiful blue sky that we've been having the last few days. And as your thoughts pop into your head, imagine they're the clouds trying to block the sun. Just with every exhale, gently blow them away. Right this minute, they serve as no purpose. bringing your arm up and over, and placing your left hand in front of you. Once more, push yourself up to seated with your head coming last. Now we're going to just bring our knees behind us and just very, very gently, knees wide apart, big toes together, come down into your child's pose. Just for one moment, while we once more centre our bodies, relaxing into our breath and giving ourselves a moment of peace. So come up onto your knees, roll over onto your toes, push your hips up into a down dog. We're just stretching out everything in our body. Maybe rock from side to side and bend one knee and then the other, just bringing a little movement into our hips. Wonderful. Go down onto your knees, into your tabletop, knees under hips, toes directly behind you, shoulders over wrists. Let's just gaze forward as we lower our tummy and then bring our chin into our chest as we arch our back. And one more time, slowly going through each and every vertebra. Making use of the space that we've started to create. Lean back onto your heels, back onto your hips, and moving slightly sideways on your mat, we're going to go into dragonfly, so legs wide apart. Lovely. Make sure that you're in a comfortable position. Now from here, there's lots and lots of variations. You can sit on a block just to lift your hips slightly. It's often very, very helpful. Just helps to tip your pelvis forward, helping in your forward fold. So take your arms up and folding directly between your legs. Go down. Often you can use your bolster various different ways. You can have it over you, hugged to your chest, and come over like this, or if you're a little bit further tilted forward, you could rest your head like this. Don't forget, we're here for a few minutes, so you need to be comfortable, and many of you will be able to relax much further down to the ground. But today, this is where I'm at, just at the point of tension, so that as I stay here, the tension builds, but in a position where I can breathe through it and relax, letting my body and letting gravity do the necessary work. Taking your focus back to your breath. Just inhale Exhale. And find yourself floating away into that beautiful blue sky. Oh, we're going to be in trouble because my notes are running away. At this point, you can almost feel the world around you floating by. You're letting it carry on without you, calming yourself, fixing yourself, giving yourself time so that you're ready to face the world once more, realizing that we're not helpless, that there's no need to be scared. We continue to help each other as a community, right here and all the way across the world. Unity. Just as we're joining our breath to the movement of our body in unison. And gently bring yourself back up to seated. What we're going to do now is do half dragonfly. So bring in your left foot into your groin. Sometimes it's nice to then have that alongside there. This time we take our arms up. We turn over our straight leg and we mindfully fold forward. Remember not to strain, not to push yourself to the furthest point straight away. We ease into it and we gently move millimetre by millimetre, week after week, as we surrender our body to gravity without pushing, without force. Just relaxing. So we switch our muscles off, we switch our mind off, we find a little peace and a little stillness. If the tension becomes too much, just bring yourself out of your pose a little bit, moving your hands back, lifting your body up slightly. And then mindfully we come back up to seated, and of course we take it over to the other side. Turn, twist your body over your extended leg, lift your arms in a beautiful long stretch, and just hinge yourself forward, relaxing over your bolster. You can even put it on your leg if that's more comfortable, so that you're really sinking into something and relaxing. Beautiful, just continue to breathe. Watching your thoughts drift from sight, no longer relevant, either now or later. As we stay longer in our pose and want to move, what sensations are we feeling? Muscle fatigue or ego? Can we just let go and be? Beautiful, ladies. If you push yourself back up to seated, take away your props. I'd just like you to lay on your tummy. Put your hands in front of you, rest your head, let your heels drop to the outside and your big toes meet together. Just relaxing. Straighten your toes and bring your arms in front of you into Sphinx pose. Just stretching your back. And let's go the other way. Roll over your toes. Push your hands down under your shoulders, hips up and into your down dog. Beautiful. Now walk your hands towards your feet. Just take a moment in your dangle, holding on to each elbow and just letting go. Release your hands and very, very slowly bring yourself up to standing. Go back to the center of your mat, facing forward. Go down onto your knees in your tabletop position. Now I want you to lift your right knee off the floor, bring it forward, tuck your foot behind the other one so that your knees are in one straight line, and then just push yourself up to seated, and you're in your shoelace pose. Wonderful. Let's just stretch our shoulders as well. So bring our arms out in front of us. Let's bring left under right and clasp our hands in the middle. And then just very, very slowly lean forward over your knees. Going back to your breath in your seated Gomukhasana with eagle arms. Unravel your arms and let your hands fall to the side. As you sink nose to knee. This one's what we call a heavy pose, so we don't stay there quite as long because we're really using our body weight to push down into our hips. So walk your hands forward, roll onto your knees, bring that knee back. Lovely. And just rock from side to side, just releasing any tension. So this time lift your left knee towards you and take that behind and sit back. This time we take our right under our left and we lean forward. If you feel your sit bones coming too far off the ground, just sit back, sit up a little further. Just remember always, it's not how far we go, but it's how we go. Unravel your arms, release your hands to the ground, and bend over your knees. every inhale, lengthening, making space, and every exhale, sinking into that space. Let's walk our hands back up, under our legs, and just shake them a little in front of us. Now we're just going to go into our caterpillar. So engage your feet and your toes to the ceiling. You might want to sit back on your block if that's helpful, to lift your hips slightly. And you take your arms under the air and you just fold forward. Doesn't matter where you are. For some, your forward fold could even be still up here, here, or you may be able to reach your toes. But remember, don't force it. Sink into it. With every breath, you might just move 1 millimeter closer to your feet. You inhale and lengthen your body, and you exhale and you sink even further. That's beautiful. Well done. If, like Poppy, you've got tight hamstrings, sometimes it's good to use a blanket rolled up and just pop it under the knees for a little support. Wonderful. Your body just slowly drapes across the front of your body. As our mind starts telling us enough is enough, listen to your body, breathe and let go. And I can guarantee you'll sink just a little further. Wonderful. Bring your feet to one side, bend your knees and come back into your tabletop. We'll just do one more down dog and cat cow to release everything before going into our shavasana. So roll over onto your toes, hips back, making a beautiful inverted V. It's a beautiful strong pose. The insides of your elbows are pointing forward. Your hands are like starfish. Your hips are going up to the ceiling. You can do a lovely soft little bend in the knees. That might take your feet further to the ground. Wonderful. Roll over on your toes, bringing your knees down, big toes to meet. Send your bottom back to your heels and just relax into your child's pose just for a couple of breaths. Rock your head from side to side, feeling the ground beneath you. It evokes your parasympathetic nervous system, telling your body it's It's relaxation time. Wonderful. Now we're going to do Shavasana with legs up the wall. Obviously out here we have no wall, so I can show you how to do that. If you do have a wall, scoot your hips right next to it, and as you lay back, you bring your legs up like so, and just relax into your position as I set Poppy and Charlotte up. So lay on your back. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just lift your hips, put your bolster under your sacrum, and now you can send your legs up into the air. Supported, yes? Okay, and Charlotte. Hips up. There we go. Lovely. It's so bright outside. Just for a moment. Cover your eyes, helping you to relax even more. Now if you've got beads in, you let them drop all the way to the bottom, and the part that goes over your nose is the part that has no beads in it. The heavy part goes on your forehead, not over your eyes. Lovely. Wonderful. Excuse me as I retrieve my notes. This is a really, really wonderful pose to end any practice in, or just to do by itself. It has a way of making you relax more than any other pose I've ever known. Your blood starts to circulate round your body better. Your mind starts to still. And your breathing automatically becomes much longer. You can use a specific breathing technique as well, maybe a box breath. So you inhale for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath outside your body, 4, 3, 2, 1, and inhale, and try and use the whole count of 4. As you do each side of the box. Wonderful. If you have got your legs against the wall and you're feeling maybe a little pinch down the back of your thighs, next Poppy has tight hamstrings, she can take her legs into that diamond shape that we used in our butterfly, and that will help relax. Another way of doing it, particularly if you're against the wall, is where we've used the bolsters under our sacrum. You can actually put the bolster on top of your feet, and that will ground you down even more. It's a really, really beautiful feeling. I just have last few words for you. Now we always have the option to forgive ourselves or others rather than to hold on to anger, recrimination, remorse, or frustration. And I think at the moment it is particularly that frustration. When you find your mind going to a dark place, you're fed up with picking everybody's clothes up, you're fed up with cooking, cleaning, you're fed up because you're missing your friends, you're missing that human contact that we so rely on. Remember, it's not forever. Remember the good you're doing as you do it. Cancel the mean thought and send a blessing to yourself as well. When you lose your temper or say something you regret, cancel and bless. Forgive yourself and forgive others. It's human to think, say, or do something we will later regret. We can either get stuck in recrimination or exchange it for that blessing. There's nothing to punish ourselves for, and there is no regret we have to hold on to. You can bring yourselves onto your side, nice and slowly. Lifting yourselves up, bringing your head last. And as always, we take our hands to heart center. We take a really deep breath in. We audibly exhale. Inhale. And as we exhale, we let go of everything that doesn't serve us, that we don't need, that isn't important. Blink your eyes open and namaste. The goodness in me sees the goodness in you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Gonna have to re-record some of that.